everyone, it's Shauna from Pay Your Weight, and today I'm going to be reviewing Yellowjackets, episode 6, Saints. Let me talk to you, Saints, all right? You guys, I know I've gotten every DM, I've gotten every comment on all my other videos. I just wanted to show for myself, y'all. I just wanted to watch something that I could watch, that I didn't have to review. But clearly, you guys want these Yellowjackets recaps, so let's go ahead and get into this week's episode. But before I can do that, I owe a member of the cast an apology, okay? And that apology for this week's episode, I said I'm gonna put my big girl panties on, okay? I'm gonna match my panties with my drawers and put my big girl panties on, and I'm gonna apologize to Sammy. Sammy, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. It is clear now that we know that your raggedy ass mama Tai is the lady in the tree. I apologize for all the times that I thought you were possessed, okay? Because literally, when Lottie was looking at when they were trying to tell Lottie the power of Christ compels you, I said, y'all need to do that. That's what Tai needs to be doing for Sammy, okay? Every time that I said you need your ass beat, okay? Because I was like, see, this is clearly an example of lack of discipline, all right? Because my man's been jumping at his mom. Okay, been talking out the side of his neck, being very creepy. That's why I thought he needed an exorcism. I thought he was possessed. You know, I was just like, now he taking paint and painting the doors and don't even care, just gonna leave the paint under his bed. And then when I realized that my man Sammy been telling the truth the whole time, that it was the raggedy ass lady in the tree, aka my mama, that's why he been lunging at her like that. I was like, oh my gosh, Tai ain't seeing heaven. I said, how dare you? How dare you? Clearly that's why you didn't want him to go see the psychologist, how? Because you knew it was you. And then you gonna put the paint under your son's bed? Under his bed? That's what we're doing, Tai? We out here framing little kids, Tai? Baby, when I realized that she was the lady in the tree, I was like, square up, Tai. Just square up. Because I was ready to jump through the screen and fight her myself, okay? Now, at the end of the episode, because we do see her, actually, I guess we can just talk about Tai since I didn't went on my whole little rant, you know. But we see her and Van, you know, they boo things when they were trapped in the wilderness. And we see that, you know, when they're having their moment together, when, you know, Van is like, are you worried about people finding out about us? Clearly, we're going to have to tell them. And then when she looked at her nails, that's dedication, okay? All right, to be with another woman and you looking at her nails, like, I know you're not putting them trifling dirty ass nails up in me. I know you're not. I just want to give a shout out to the writers, because that's like in the detail. I was like, that is development right there. All right. So we see that Tai has this idea that she basically wants to go and, you know, put her freedom in her own hands. She wants to leave and try to find a way. If they can hike somewhere to where they can find someone and they can get out of this mess. But when she brings up how dirty her nails are, and we remember when Lottie had saw Tai eating dirt, and when Tai came back and she was like, hey girl, you know, I just got a quick question. Were you eating dirt? Like, the next day, she's like, would you eat some dirt, girl? Because, like, I don't know if I was tripping. I know I've been tripping this whole episode. I've been seeing things. But, baby, was you eating dirt? And she was like, Beach, I don't have time to deal with your crazy. I said, no, Beach, you the one who crazy. You the one sitting up here eating dirt in the middle of the night, being the lady in the tree framing your child. I'm never going to get over this, y'all. I'm so sorry. I know y'all like, Shauna, why are you going so hard? I'm never going to get over this. Also, too, I do think at the end of the episode, when we see her, even though it's dark as hell, y'all learn how to light melanin. I couldn't see nothing. I said, y'all, I was trying to brighten the screen and I was trying to close. I'm like, I can't see. What is happening? But it looked like she had blood on her. I don't know if she bit herself, if she was eating something else. And I kind of thought she was eating something else, even though I know that she's supposed to be a vegetarian. Very random side note, in college, I had a roommate, okay? My roommate was borderline alcoholic. And when she was a vegetarian and when she would get drunk, this hoe would eat my food. Okay, I'm sure she's not a hoe now, but you eat my food, you a hoe. Okay, so you know, when you in school, you ain't got no money, and I had bought some sweet pies. You know, it was some soul food, and I was waiting the whole day. You know how you be hungry and you be like, I'm gonna save this for tomorrow so I can have like 2 meals instead of 1 meal. And when I got back from work, do you know she ate my food and put the chicken bones back into the box and put the box back into the fridge? Baby, when I say I lost it. When I say I wrote a very threatening note on the refrigerator, she didn't come home for 2 days, and then when I came home, it was groceries all on my futon. Baby, when I say I was so pissed, Clearly, I'm triggered by Tai. Clearly, I was triggered by Tai at the end of this week's episode because it just took me back to that place, and I don't want to be back in that place. But let's get back into the beginning of the episode when we see a flashback of Lottie. She's in the backseat of the car with her parents when she's a little kid, and then all of a sudden she starts having this screaming spell, and we see that, you know, the parents looking at her crazy. I was like, girl, what's going on? Like, what happened? And then we see that because she screamed, it stopped her parents from going forward where the 18-wheeler, we saw that they looked at the car next to them. He went straight and the semi-truck basically hit and killed him on impact. And so we see that the parents are arguing about this later in the day. The mom thinks that, you know, that she can sense danger or know when bad things are going to happen. The dad is just like, oh, hell no, like that, all that ain't going on. We ain't doing all of that, okay? You need to get your life together. But we're not doing that. So we go back to when they're in the wilderness, and then Marl's trying to talk. She's trying to talk smack, talking about, she's talking smack to Lottie. And then Lottie was like, actually, I was sitting up here thinking about how your raggedy ex left your raggedy behind for his cousin. And I was like, damn, like, hold on, can cousins date each other? But she said it was legal. But I was just like, sis, what you do to have somebody leave you for their own family member? I was just like, you sit up here talking smack when you got your own dirt that you need to be protecting. So we see that when Lottie is kind of standing there, she sees this deer with his antlers and is shedding his antlers, is bleeding. And then we see that later in the episode, you know, when she's kind of having this conversation about, you know, am I crazy? I keep seeing these things, like, but some of this stuff happens. I don't know what's going on. This has been happening my whole life. And then basically, you know, old girl delivered her to Christ. She went to the altar. She laid it out on the altar. She delivered her to the Lord. When they start quoting scripture, she baptized her. She started quoting Philippians 4:13. I say, okay. You better give her some scripture on this Sunday, saints. But we see that when she goes under the water, she kind of goes into another premonition. She sees the deer with the antlers shedding. But then I kind of got scared for her because I'm pretty positive at this point that Lottie is the one that they ended up killing and eating. And I don't know how all of this happened because I think we also saw it with the little antler thing on her head, like in a little scene. So I'm just like, how did we go from like seeing her as a spiritual person to y'all killed her and ate her? Like, I know y'all hungry, but y'all gonna kill the spiritual person? Like, that'd be the last person I eat. Like, you know, if I wanted to get into the pearly gates and then the Lord is like, hey, I sent you a spiritual person, you ate her, you gotta take your ass to hell. That probably wouldn't have been my choice to eat. But let me know in the comment section, do y'all think that Lottie is the one that they killed that we saw in the first episode and that they basically ate? Poor Lottie, poor baby. But we do see the deer again at the end of the episode. Lottie wasn't going crazy. She actually did see the deer who was shedding his antlers. As we see that's the deer that Natalie and Travis killed, even though the deer had maggots in it. So I don't know what the hell is going on with that. But I don't think Lottie's crazy. I think she can see. I think she does get premonitions. Hell, I've dreamed before. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I actually have dream stuff that has come true later. Terrible things that have happened that have come true later. But, you know, so I'm gonna rock with Lottie. I'm like, baby girl, you ain't crazy, boo. I support you. I stand by you, okay? And I do not appreciate the fact that they killed you either. But let's go into, let's talk about Shauna, because there's a lot happening with Shauna. And we will talk about young Shauna first, where she's having these dreams. She was having this dream, and she gave birth. And I said, what the hell is that? And then she grabbed it and started eating it. I said, wait a minute, baby girl, you gave birth to a damn rotisserie chicken. I was just like, I can't. And then when she woke up, you know, Ty was coming back from eating dirt and getting on with Van. And she was just like, are you okay? You have another dream? And she was like, did you birth another cheeseburger? And I was just like, not a cheeseburger too. But she ends up telling Ty, you know, that Jeff is the father and that she doesn't want to give birth and have to confront Jackie and tell her who the father is. And also too, she talks about how, you know, she heard about a girl who had an abortion by sticking a wire hanger up inside of her. I just like, I don't know where y'all kids be getting this from, but sure. And so we see that later in the episode, we see that Tai goes to find Shauna, because when she comes back, she sees her bra, but she can tell that the underwire is missing. And so I'm thinking that Tai going to stop Shauna from trying to give herself an abortion. But then she started helping her. I said, hold on, wait a minute. I thought you was going to help this girl to stop sticking a damn wire hanger up her cooch. And you sitting up there trying to help her. But then at least the Lord gave somebody some common sense and told Shauna, baby girl, this ain't the way. And Shauna stopped her. And then they just embraced each other. And I was like, good, because y'all had me very stressed out. You had me very stressed out. So, we also see that Shauna was talking to Jackie, and Jackie's talking about how she missed Jeff, and how Jeff told her that he loved her before, the day before she didn't say anything, and how she misses his smell, and how he rubs her hand, uses his thumb to rub her hand when they're holding hands. Child, I was just like, it didn't look like you like Jeff like that, but okay, boo, try to convince yourself that you love him, which makes Shauna very nervous. But we see that she starts getting lightheaded, and Jackie, just being a nice person, she ended up giving her a piece of her food, the last piece of her food, so she would basically feel better. Now, let's talk about a little bit, and I'm going to go into adult Shauna, but let me talk about young Natalie. Natalie and Travis are hooking up on a plane, and then everything's basically going wrong. And I was like, I don't know about y'all, but I think I would take my chances on getting it on in the wilderness. I kind of don't want to be in a plane where everybody crashed and we fell to our death, how people died. That's just not where I would be wanting to hook up. But do you, boo, get your rocks off. I'm totally here to support you. Get yours, okay? But we see that they come back to camp holding hands, and everybody's like, ooh, look at y'all. Is this why y'all ain't killed no damn deer? Because y'all too busy hooking up. And then they was like, I heard it was beaver season. I was like, these are such kids, but I was totally here for all of this raggediness. But we see that Jackie started talking at the side of her neck, and I said, oh no, not you, Jackie. Not you, Jackie. Okay, you talking about her, but you was finna give it all to Jeff, okay, when the series first started. So I don't know what you talking about, hoe. Let me stop calling people hoes. It's okay for you to get your rocks out. If my parents are watching, I'm a virgin though, so I don't know what it feels to get your rocks out. But I'm just saying, if I wasn't, then I would be happy for Jackie and everybody else. But we see later in the episode, Coach tries to do this whole safe sex talk with Travis, not because he cares about him getting an STD or anything. He basically fool, it's hard enough trying to feed ourselves. We ain't got no more food to be feeding no baby. We ain't trying to survive with no dang on baby, okay? So you need to wrap it up. Don't try to pull out. Here's some condoms. I said, baby, why you got all them condoms, okay? Was you smart? Was the coaches having a sex party? I don't know about y'all. I think nationals is just a weekend, and I'm sure you're gonna be coaching. So when did you have time to be getting on the boom boom room? Because when I said he had all them damn condoms, I was just like, are you a sex addict? Let me know, coach. Let me know. But later in the episode, we see that Natalie and Travis are trying to get it on again. Then this dumb fool asks her what is her number. I said, Beesh, you don't ask a woman what her number is, and it don't matter. I was dying laughing when Natalie was like, and our vaginas have monologues now. And I was just like, oh my goodness, y'all, I did the vagina monologues. I was the angry vagina, go figure, but it just took me back. And I had to pause and recite my whole vagina monologue speech. But they end up making up and they start kissing, and then they see the deer, which is the deer that Lottie saw. She wasn't crazy, whether it was a premonition or if the deer was actually right there and nobody else could just see it at the time. I don't know, but baby girl not crazy. And so they end up killing the deer. And yeah, but I do want to talk about adult Shauna. I don't know why I keep calling her Shauna, because my old boss was called Shauna, so please forgive me, y'all. I know her name is Shauna. So she ends up getting spotted in a motel parking lot. And I thought she was going to see Adam, but she actually goes to see Natalie and Tai raggedy behind. And then Natalie all of a sudden trying to talk smack to her, but Tai was like, we're not doing all of this whole, let's get back to business. But they think that Travis was killed by whoever is blackmailing them, because they asked them for $50,000 $50,000, but Shauna actually never got that part of the text message. She knew that Travis was dead, but she never got that part of the text message. So I don't know why Misty is only trying to blackmail Natalie and Ty, but Shauna's out of this for right now. And Natalie, who clearly just doesn't make good decisions in general, she ends up trying to call the reporter, because then they think, well, maybe it's the reporter trying to get their story. But then they end up stopping her from doing that. And they basically tell her, no, we're not doing that either, ho. Chill out, calm down. We're going to figure this out together. But the part of the episode that really sent me was when Jeff and Shauna went to go have birthday lunch with Jackie's parents, okay? Jackie's mother was very out of pocket, and I was ready to come through and throw hands on her myself. We see that, Shauna forgets what day it is, but he's like, do you want to go? And she's like, yeah, we need to go. And we see when she's talking to her mom, like, she gives her this present, this rabbit. She's like, oh, Jackie loved rabbits. But I'm like, why would she want a gift of her dead best friend? I still think Jackie's alive, though. Let me be clear. I think Jackie's alive, and I think a lot of other people are actually alive, especially when they was like, do you think somebody else from the team is trying to blackmail us? I do believe that we don't know everybody that's alive yet or who survived, but I do still think that Jackie survived, because they're acting like Jackie's body was never found. Like, it's clear her parents have not had closure. Like, they just have hope, and I just have this weird feeling that they left Jackie in the wilderness or something, and just something in my spirit just don't sit right with that. But when she said that, when Jackie's mama said that she would be so happy for Jeff and Shauna being together, I was like, no, honey. No, she would not. And then when she said, what I didn't like that she said, it was when she was like, you can't be, I like that you guys are just so content, so complacent. I was like, bitch, that's not something that you know. And she was like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant that, like, you can't have it all. You can't be a good mom and be remarkable at the same time. I said, but I was just like, someone come muzzle her right now. Just muzzle her, because she's doing the absolute most. I was dying laughing, though, when she was like, I'm just so happy. Jackie used to be so worried about you that you wouldn't find nobody. And it must be so hard, like, being friends with her, because she was so beautiful. And I was just like, baby, I know you older, but you're not above getting these hands, okay? Say one more thing. Say one more thing. Say one more thing. And I promise you getting these hands, all right? Then Shauna starts talking about how she don't like her daughter, and she really don't like her daughter. Like, she's called her daughter an asshole on so many different occasions. Then Adam's texting her the whole time. I'm like, don't Adam know she married? Like, why are you texting like this? Like, you doing the most. You wait for me to text you. You can't just be sending me message out of nowhere. Like, that's not how we do these affairs these days. And then she ends up going to Jackie's room and has this weird conversation with Jackie, or the ghost of Jackie, whatever she is. And Jeff kind of comes in and interrupts, and it seems like she's about to ask him, like, did you ever wish, like, she would have came back? Or, it seemed like she was gonna be like, if you guys would have got married. But I was still stuck on when she told Shauna that she don't contribute to the family, and then she had to fix herself. She's like, I mean, financially, since you ain't got no job. I said, I don't know how do she do this every year? She can't do this every year, because she seemed like she was on one today. Because when I said I was ready to come to that TV screen and just let her have it. But what I was happy about is that I was happy that Jeff stepped in and took up for her about how she's smart. She got into Brown. She's brilliant. She's a great mom. Like, I think my wife is fantastic. And I was like, thank you. But then I was like, hold on, ho. If you think your wife's so fantastic, then why your ass cheating on her? Because I'm still confused. And so when they were driving back home, he basically tells her, like, hey, have I ever thought about it? Yes, but, like, I'm happy with the life that we have built with each other. Me and Jackie was never going to work out. I was just a boyfriend in high school, which I felt was like a backhanded compliment, because it was like, okay, but you made it seem like you weren't good enough for Jackie. So I was just a little confused. Maybe that's just me reading into it, because I know Jeff's still raggedy. He doesn't wish that anything was different, and we see that she grabs his hand. And I was like, oh, okay, cute. Maybe they'll stop cheating on each other. And then, lo and behold, Jeff's talking about, I got to work on the books. I got to work on the accounting. It's going to be late. She's like, you want me to go with you? He was like, nah, baby, it's good. I'm going to cheat on on you. He didn't say that, but that's basically what he was saying. And I was like, dang, it kind of took away any good moment of redemption that we had for Jeff. So yeah, so we see that at the end, Shauna sends Adam a text message basically saying, like, lie on the floor, face down, and wait for me to come. Maybe I'll come, maybe I won't, but you'll have to wait and see. I was like, okay, Shauna, you better get it, girl. Get it, boo. I see you. But I'm trying to think, did I miss anything else? I don't think I missed any. Oh, Misty crazy ass. Yes, I did miss something. Let's talk about Misty. She's been stealing pills from work. And basically she has cameras, and that's how she knows what the hell Natalie is up to. We saw that Natalie and Kevin had met up, and he got a call and he needed to go to his kid's game. She was helping coach him. They won the game. They had a good moment. They go back and get it on in the boom boom room, and essentially Misty is watching this entire thing. And she's doing something in the basement. I'm like, why she got all these drugs? Like, who's she trying to drug? Then we see she ends up calling the reporter that's been contacting the women she's trying to do a story about. And then, first of all, if I'm hearing the theme song of Phantom of the Opera playing, baby, I'm not getting in that damn car. If you heard someone playing Phantom of the Opera in, like, literally in present day, I'm like, oh, hell no, something wrong with you. I mean, I love me some Broadway show tunes, but if someone's playing, like, no, it just did sit right in my spirit. The girl get in the car, she stabs her, drugs her, and then when she wakes up, she's chained to the bed in the basement. Because I was so like, why is Misty in this basement? Like, it just don't look like a safe place. And so I don't know what the hell she's going to do, but Misty is freaking bat-ish out of her mind. I don't know what the hell is going to happen. I'm trying to figure out what's really going on with Ty and why she out here eating dirt and eating animals raw. I don't know what. It's too much for me. This is too much. And I know that we have only scratched the tip of the surface, but Yellowjackets has my attention now. I'm trying to figure out who survived. I'm still holding out that Jackie is alive somewhere, or they left her in the wilderness, and that she gonna pop up on the door like, ho, I want my life back. But I don't know. Those are just my speculations for right now. But those are my thoughts on Yellowjackets episode 6. Saints, as always, my name is Shauna from Payroll Waits, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000, and until I see you again,